Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world, online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Sunday, June 1st, 2025. Time Trials at Drag Strip Requiem is a new documentary by a local filmmaker that chronicles the extraordinary life and career of drag racing legend Mendy Fry. It's screening for free tonight at Mojave Gold at 7 p.m. Reporter Gabriel Hart chatted with Kuntz and Fry about her dynamic career that led to this feature-length film.
When relaying her professional career, drag racing legend Mendy Fry says she was a, quote, teenage sensation, her tone playfully tongue-in-cheek.
I was a fairly teenage sensation.
Yet Fry continued explaining how drag racing is a serious, even dangerous business. The cars run on nitromethane, an explosive fuel propelling the driver to speeds and combustion that often ignite a vehicle into a searing blacktop comet. Beginning her 32-year career at age 15, Fry entered the male-dominated sport as the only woman in the front-engine top fuel class, becoming the first woman to break speeds of 250 miles per hour. Yet, there is no female division in top fuel, Fry reminds us.
Yeah, there's no female division, because it would be empty.
To this day, Fry still holds the world record for the quickest elapsed time in the AA fuel dragster class, a quarter mile in 5.49 seconds. Fry says her father, a car and engine builder, quote, wanted a son but got a daughter instead, unquote, so she was raised in the sport whether she wanted it or not. But Fry wanted it, and by the time she started driving, she was surrounded with support despite racing's, quote, fairly misogynist environment.
And I think that I probably got very desensitized to that because I just, whatever comments would come my way, I would just kind of let them, roll off my back. The thing is, that's just the novelty, right? You actually have to get in and compete at the level that everybody else is competing. So nobody really cares what your gender is.
Right. On her skill and ambition alone, Fry continued to dominate the sport until taking a 6-year break halfway through her career. In 1997, drag racing rider-photographer Cole Kuntz was already a fan of Fry before meeting her at a Bakersfield Races press section. Struggling to maintain his journalistic integrity, he was smitten with Fry, and the two soon became an item and later married. 16 years after Fry returned to racing, Kuntz put together a film crew to document her leading the national circuit.
As she dominated, and then her car owner, unfortunately, was no longer on this mortal coil, I showed the footage I had to a film distributor I knew, and he said, "You've got a movie here."
5 years later, the result is Time Trials, a drag strip requiem, a feature-length documentary chronicling Fry's highs and lows during her decades of shattering speed records and gender barriers.
This is really a movie about transcending one's circumstances, which, I think is a universal theme, and that's what our protagonist ultimately did, not once but twice, really. It doesn't matter. You can transcend your circumstances and then you still get set back. But that was a big part of what made me want to stick to this film and finish it, because I felt it was a story worth telling.
Despite the close quarters of their marriage, Fry didn't consult on the film at all and wouldn't even allow herself to see the footage until the final product, which she says has been an emotional experience.
It's one of the most truly vulnerable times that I think that I've ever had in my life, watching this on screen, and I need to watch it a couple more times before we go see it with all these people in the room, because I have to stop crying. Well, yeah, and also I can't imagine what it's been like for Cole. He's been in his studio, working 10-hour, 12-hour days.
It's like a mutual pressure almost, right?
Well, then he comes in the house and he's like, "Oh, you again? I've been looking at you for 12 hours. God.
There are worse fates.
Time Trials, a drag strip requiem, screens tonight, Sunday, June 1st, at Mojave Gold in Yucca Valley. Admission is free and open to the public. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Gabriel Hart.